They weren't just men with hats and horses. They were legends, outlaws, lawmen, killers, heroes. These 10 cowboys didn't just survive the Wild West, they defined it. From blood-soaked duels to million-dollar heists. This is the real story behind the Gunsmoke. Buckle up. Billy the Kid, the teen outlaw who defied death. Born Henry McCarty, Billy the Kid was just 21 when he died. But by then, he'd already killed at least 8 men. Orphaned young, he turned to crime early. Quick with a revolver, he escaped jails, taunted sheriffs, and gunned down enemies with a smile. Legends say he once shot his way out of a noose, vanished into the desert, and lived to tell the tale. Some still believe he faked his death. What's certain, he became a myth before he was even a man. Wild Bill Hickok, the gunslinger who saw his own death. James Butler Wild Bill Hickok was more than a lawman. He was a force of nature. Known for his lightning-fast draw and icy nerves, he left a trail of bodies in saloons, alleys, and dusty plains. He claimed to have killed over 100 men. But fate caught up to him in a poker game in Deadwood, where he was shot from behind while holding the infamous dead man's hand. The man who predicted his death died exactly as he feared. Jesse James, the American Robin Hood or cold-blooded killer. He robbed banks, he robbed trains, he robbed the U.S. government. Jesse James wasn't just an outlaw, he was a symbol of rebellion. Some say he gave to the poor, others say he was a stone-cold murderer. Raised in a war-torn Missouri, Jesse's path was carved in blood. For 15 years, the law couldn't catch him. In the end, it wasn't a shootout, but betrayal, shot in the back by a friend, a mirror of the country he once defied. Doc Holliday, the deadliest dentist in history. A frail man with tuberculosis, a dentist by trade. But don't let the cough fool you. Doc Holliday killed faster than most men could blink. Partner in crime to Wyatt Earp, he fought in the infamous OK Corral shootout. Doc once said, "I'm your Huckleberry," before gunning a man down cold. His body was dying, but his aim stayed true. They feared him not for his size, but because he had nothing to lose. Butch Cassidy, the gentleman bandit who vanished. Butch Cassidy smiled during robberies, polite, calm, like he was robbing a lemonade stand. But behind the charm was a mastermind. Along with the Sundance Kid, he led the Wild Bunch, pulling off the biggest train heists of the 1890s. They vanished into South America, where stories say they died in a blaze of glory. Or did they escape again, living under fake names in quiet towns? No one knows for sure. Wyatt Earp, lawman or outlaw in disguise. He stood tall with a badge, but Wyatt Earp was no saint. Gambling, brawling, and killing, he lived by his own code. In Tombstone, Arizona, he faced off with the Clantons in the most famous shootout in Western history, the OK Corral. They say he walked into the gunfire like a ghost, untouched. Some called him a hero, others called him a killer in a bag. One thing's clear, the Wild West bowed to Wyatt. Tom Horn, the assassin cowboy who hanged for the wrong man. Tom Horn rode as a scout, cowboy, Pinkerton agent, and some say hired killer. He took out rustlers for ranch owners, fast, quiet, and final. But in 1901, he was accused of killing a 14-year-old boy. His confession was shaky. His trial rushed. Some say he was innocent. Others say it was just one kill too far. Either way, Tom Horn met the hangman's noose, but not without claiming, "I guess that's the end of me." Bass Reeves, the real Django. Born into slavery, Bass Reeves became one of the greatest lawmen the West ever saw. Over 3,000 arrests, countless gunfights, fluent in multiple native languages. He wore disguises, outwitted outlaws, and brought justice with iron fists and a Bible. Many believe he was the inspiration for the Lone Ranger. The fact he did it all as a black man in a brutal time, that's not just rare, that's legendary. John Wesley Hardin, so dangerous he shot a man for snoring. A killer since 15, Hardin once said he killed over 40 men, and never just to watch them die. But his actions told a darker story. He shot a man for snoring. He broke out of prison, lived under aliases, and even practiced law. He was charming, educated, and completely unhinged. When he was finally gunned down in a Texas saloon, some said the devil himself sighed with relief. Calamity Jane, the wild woman who rode with legends. She dressed like a man, cursed like a sailor, and rode harder than most men dared. Calamity Jane wasn't just a sharpshooter. She was a force of chaos and kindness. She claimed to have fought Indians, rescued wounded soldiers, and loved Wild Bill Hickok to her grave. Whether her stories were true or not didn't matter. In the Wild West, the myth was more powerful than the facts. These cowboys weren't actors in a Hollywood movie. They were real, raw, relentless. They shaped history with bullets, grit, and legend. Some stood for law, others stood for revenge, but every one of them stood tall. If you loved the Wild West, subscribe. We've only scratched the surface. The next legend could be even wilder.